And we are live. What's up, Sting?
What's up, Mule? How's the world treating you?
Oh man, what an interesting week we've lived through yet again, right?
It never
I mean,
stops, man.
it
Just when you
never.
think that you got a president who's gonna, finally I can stop being so pissed off all the damn time. No.
No, well, that's never going to happen. But for some of these reasons, we're supposed to be pissed off. It's ridiculous, So it's only bad when somebody else does it, right? If I do it, it's all good. I have my reasons. I did it. They should be good enough for you because I said so, right? But if somebody does exactly the same thing, then that shit's just wrong, and they need to go fucking to jail or get impeached or whatever. You know.
Oh, the swamp is extra swampy and don't want to be drained.
Oh no, but we know that, right? So this is
Yeah.
just another tactic that they've. Well, they're still playing this hard tactic that the Russians did it. It wasn't the American people, or that the Russians fooled the American people because they, spent money on Facebook.
Because they bought $100,000 worth of
Yeah.
Black Lives Matters ads. Yeah.
But this fucking, Home Depot jihadist, right, got radicalized by going online. The FBI comes out with today.
Yeah, how funny is it that we found out everything about him within like 24 hours? Still don't know shit about
Under
Vegas.
under 24 hours. We know
Yeah.
we know what this guy had. We know what his colon looks like from last month. And it turns out, look, the FBI was warned about this guy. The mosque he was going to, they were warned. But remember, then the liberals found out about it and they started screaming and shouting that, you're watching these religious organizations and blah, blah,
You're
blah.
profiling.
Yeah. So, they
Meanwhile, you
stopped.
should be profiling people who are white and believe in the Second Amendment and have, firearms that can cause mass casualties.
Well, you really can't, shit on every Muslim, but every white gun owner, they deserve, the fucking rack. They deserve to
Yeah.
go to prison just for being white and a gun owner. But if you're Muslim, not everybody who says Allah Akbar really wants. Fuck you.
I just saw a thing where Governor Cuomo or whatever, was saying how
Yeah.
he doesn't want extreme conservatives in his state who believe in the right to life, the Second Amendment, and what was the other one? I don't remember. Basically anything conservative. But those are the extreme conservatives. Is there a non-extreme? I mean, there is McCain, right?
Well, he's also cool with fucking Muslim training camps in his fucking state. Fallsburg, New York, is basically turned into a goddamn Muslim haven. I have friends that still live in Sullivan County that are like, there's some places I ain't going no more.
Yeah. What's up, Reb?
What's up, gents?
How you doing, Rebel? Missed you last week. And the Jews up there are arming up like crazy. They don't give a shit about the safe act. Don't give a shit about
it. Nice.
How's your Halloweens?
Mine was fun. But then again, I don't live in Lower Manhattan, so.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we didn't get that many kids this year, which I guess that's a good thing.
But it's not, man. Like we were talking about that a little earlier, Stinger and I and John, right? The whole fucking culture has changed. Nowadays trick-or-treating is done in a parking lot out of people's trunks that they bought shit from Walmart.
We last of the Mohicans, my friend. We are the last generation that before technology really took over our lives, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was a great way to visit your neighbors too, or get to know your neighbors. Sorry, Reb, didn't mean to talk over you.
No, just the advent of really the smartphone, I think is what's really changed the course of humanity.
That it has in a lot of different ways, more than just that.
Well, wait till it's something else. Wait till it's something that people are gonna, look. Remember when we were kids, and I don't know if you guys grew up Christian. I know you did, Sting, but they used to talk about in the Revelations, people are going to get chips under their skin, and it's going to be, blah blah blah. Fucking, you know how many people would line up for that Futurama type iPhone, right? Oh, you got to plant it in my eye, but allows me to record everything, send everything, share everything. Meanwhile being tracked the whole time and watched by the government every move we make. But you know how many people would line up and pay $1,000 for that shit?
Yeah, it's because we live in a culture where everybody wants to be internet famous.
Yeah, well, not me anymore. I'm happy with my ambiguity. Go ahead, Reb. Sorry. I mean, talk over.
Well, it's narcissism. People, it's full blown. It's a mental disorder, is what it is. But what do I know? I'm an angry old man. When I was a kid, we'd be riding on his property, and he'd come after us with the friggin' salt pellet gun. He'd try to shoot us with salt and shit, salt rock, fucking. I'm that dude now. I just want to be left alone.
My loads ain't salt, okay?
Right? But I mean, like, I was pumping gas the other night, and year-old started to approach me and ask me for change for gas. And I just screamed at him, "Fuck off!"
Oh, you didn't start drawing? Because the second some scummy little youngsters start walking towards me, my hand starts.
If he would have been close enough, I would have leg sweeped him or probably put hands on him, right? But he wasn't, so I just used my voice. And he literally turned and kind of jogged away. And the family's in the car, and she's like, "Wow, what was that about?" And I said, the guy asked me for change. The guy, when I'm trying to concentrate, not to burn the place down. And
because pumping gas takes so much concentration, bro.
Well, no, I got a lot on my mind. I'm in that moment. It's a routine. I don't want to be bothered.
Right, you're such a fucking dick. But go ahead.
Oh, totally. But this was a able-bodied person, dressed, well, young. It's like, if he, it was just one of those things, man.
Oh, I've had it happen where people come up panhandling, and it's like, first of all, you're dressed. I just got off of work, and you're dressed better than I am. I'm coming out of a fucking store with cigarettes and a drink, or getting gas or something. You're coming over to beg money from me? Yeah, no.
Yeah.
First of all, you get too close. I am reaching for it. It's not my wallet that's on my left side.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm too nice of a guy, man. It depends on the reason. I've given money to people that were just short a few bucks in order to get a little bit of gas in their car or whatever. Because shit, I've been there. How many times when I was younger, when I didn't bring enough money, or I was short this month until Friday, and I had to have gas. I've been there. So it depends on the situation. For me, I've given people money before. There was a guy not too long ago come up to my door. We're going up to Ash Fork. I got the dog in the truck, and he knocks on the door. And Roxy don't deal well with other people, and so she's doing what a pit bull does in that situation. Scares him to death. Scares me half to death because I wasn't expecting him to knock on my window, and he's wanting me to help jump his car, but I can't hear what he's saying because the dog's loud as shit, right? And every time he tries to open his mouth, she reminds him he needs to, mind his business. So finally, I figure out what he's wanting. And, at first my reaction was like, hell no, get the fuck away from me, kind of thing like that. But then I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute, did he ask for a jump? I can do that. I got cables. I got time. I should be the Christian kind of person. So I got out. I helped him out. And, I don't know. I shouldn't have yelled at him, though.
But that's different than somebody who's dressed better than you are coming up and begging money from you, just because.
Way different.
Right? That's way different, right?
Yeah.
Helping somebody out is way different. If I see a woman with a child with a flat tire, I'm there, right? If she comes up to me and I see no man in the car, I see 4 kids, and she's crying because it turned out she pumped $2 more gas. I'm paying for her gas and drinks for her kids, and hoping she has a better day because of
Right.
it.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody's
Some
driving a BMW or something.
able-bodied human being comes up to me begging for money because they're stoned or they're drunk or they just think I'm a fucking mark, you had the wrong thing coming.
Yeah, definitely.
There's no mark or victim tattooed on this forehead. You
I
just
guess too,
you didn't see the face, did you?
when my family is with me, don't fuck around. Don't approach me. Don't even fucking look at me. You know what I mean? I'm just,
Reb's had enough.
I don't know, man. I have fucking, at this point, my outlook on society
Yeah.
is not good.
I get where you're coming from, man.
You know what I mean?
Every time I turn on the TV, I want to kill myself because of this shit. Well, not kill myself, but you know what I mean. It's expression.
Yeah, I want to, but I'm prepared. Look, that's what we do, right? So we're family men, right? I have a passel. I've gotten my baseball team, right? 6 fucking grandkids and 4 kids. So I got my 11. Almost. I'm sure there's gonna be at least 1 or 2 more grandkids along the line. So I'm cool. I got my squad, but we're then protective over that squad. So when anybody strange wants to come towards that squad, we're automatically going to be protected.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
It's just the way
I've given legitimate homeless people food and money, but legitimate homeless people don't approach you. They're underneath the overpasses. They're, you know what I mean? They're legit. I mean, when they stink and they look like they live under a bridge, yeah, those are legit. But, you've seen all these undercover things where, somebody asks for money and they're filming it and then they watch them go to a car nicer than the one they're driving. I mean,
yeah. Well, a good way to tell, or I don't know if it's a good way to tell anymore, but what I used to do is I would look at their shoes. What kind of shoes are they wearing?
Yeah.
How much walking do they actually do?
Yeah, the nicer the shoes they're wearing, the more money they got.
Yeah. I mean, I've stopped and a guy was sitting Indian style with the dog. I knew he was homeless. He didn't have a sign. I walked over and gave him some money, and he didn't ask. And he, was just like, I would have felt stupid if he was like, oh, I'm just tying my shoe, walking my dog. But he wasn't. He was obviously whatever. He might have been out of gas. I don't know what his circumstances were, but it was just one of those things where I saw him and it looked like somebody in need. Buddy, So,
but again, that's a different scenario, right? So somebody not asking, you see a need, you want to fulfill it. That's fine, right? But there's a whole different scenario there that's going on in society with these people who are these victims that are taking advantage of people's kindness. And I'm not one to do that, right? Don't do that to me. Don't.
There's definite money in Panhandle.
With a couple. This is the one that's one of the local ones here, right? They're all tatted back. They got fucking $10,000 worth of tattoos each. With another fucking good grand worth of piercings, and you're going to tell me you can't have a job? Well, that's why. And you're out here begging for food with your old man. You're both out here begging. And it's like, well, one of you should be working. Baby, there's always work at a truck stop. I don't care what you look like.
Yeah. Well, there's good money in panhandling. What was it? I think I heard not too long ago that they make well over $30,000 a year if they're out there.
Depending upon where you live. I mean, imagine a panhandler and fucking a good one that doesn't actually have to live homeless in fucking California. Yeah. Man. You get the right scam, you can walk out of there pretty good. But that's the problem is you got to know what's a scam and what's real. The Skid Row shelter's real. The homeless down there that need donations down there, that need money for food down there, that's real.
Yeah, you want to help out the homeless, help out your local shelter.
Yeah. But that's why getting scammed at the gas station, no, man, you better be ready. Because that's one step short of a robbery. You're coming up and you think I'm a victim and you think I'm an easy touch. And it's just not the way to go.
Yeah, I think too. I've seen too many of those fucked up videos of violence at gas stations. So, like, I'm just, I'm at high alert, man.
Well, anymore you
At a
are,
gas station.
right? Because they've fear ginned everything up to where breathing's bad for you, right? Them fucking cocaining the sky for Jesus with fucking chemtrails.
I'm on the lookout for trannies that pop out of nowhere wanting change now.
Well, I mean, just I don't, every area is different, has their own different version of what scummy shit's going on there, right? But it's getting more and more scummy shit's going on everywhere is the problem, right? And
Yeah.
now everybody's a goddamn victim, so nobody's taking responsibility for anything, including what's going on down their own street.
Everybody gets a trophy mentality. Everyone's special.
And I'm not no fucking victim, so when I'm out and about, it's real simple. And if I'm out with my kids and my grandkids, my eyes are always scanning. I'm always trying to be aware.
Yeah.
But then there's shit like Vegas where you're fucked, right? So you went out thinking you're safe, going out to an open air concert.
You could have
So
your
now I'm not going to be
firearm
able to go to a
concealed on
concert
you.
where,
And it wouldn't,
well, just think, concealed carry wouldn't matter, right? When somebody's shooting from fucking, 300 yards away from a higher advantage, you fuck no matter what. You're
That's
fucking.
why I've told a lot of people I have no grandeurs of illusion.
So. Yeah. Ain't doing shit.
I have no grandeurs of illusion that I'm going to be able to protect myself. It's just giving me the opportunity that might be able to. At least I have a better chance.
Well, for me,
increasing my odds.
For me, I don't really go to concerts, but the next venue that I go to like that, I'm going to have to check out the venue first to make sure there's nothing too much higher that has easy access to public, that can look down in. Because that's just now that's just be situationally aware. It's, don't get into the situation. That's one way to be aware, right?
Yep.
So it's just look, our fucking culture is falling apart slowly but surely. Is there anything that could save it? History tells us no.
I mean, it'll eventually happen, but I still believe that it's going to divide the country one way or the other. I don't think we're going to be a United States anymore.
Not for much longer. What now? I mean, what do you think, Reb? We were talking about it on a radio show about how California not only wants to succeed, but then turn into 3 states, right? Or turn into 3 states and only one part of it's going to succeed. I don't know how it's going to work in the end. Right?
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And aren't you glad you bailed?
Oh, yeah. I bailed, before things started getting just outright outrageous and weird. You're talking 15 years ago.
Shit, man. We're talking, I left California 27 years ago. The only time I went back was when I was on the road trucking, and that was just passing through, getting the fuck out of here as soon as possible.
Right. Well, it's funny because all the people that I know that still live there have lived there all their lives.
Yeah.
So I think it's part of that too. A lot of people just, they don't know where else to go, or they have so many roots there that.
I mean, I have friends there that have been talking about getting out forever, and something always comes up. Some reason they can't do it. I'm like, dude, I got in my car from Wisconsin to move to Arizona in the freaking Mustang. It just put everything I could fit in that thing, the kid, the wife, the cat, and we went to, Arizona with that from Wisconsin on a leap of faith, I guess. I guess it's the leap of faith. People are too scared. They want to have a job already set up, a house that's already set up, everything, so it's like just move and boom, everything's ready to go. They're not willing to have that risk.
I think a lot of it has to do with, some people still have the American spirit and some don't, right? So the needing a change or maybe the route thing, right? So it's going to be harder for me to pull up from Illinois than it is anywhere else in my life, right? Because I put
Yes,
some
sir.
roots down here, you know. So then once you find roots, it's all of a sudden you're not going to want to expand, expound, or leave and go somewhere else and do it all again, you know, even though that's the
Mhm.
plan because fuck this, fuck Illinois. Roots are not, man. The ground's bad. It's time to pull up roots and plant them somewhere better, you know. But most people don't do that because they get so, you know, they have so much connection to the family, the school, the friends, the blah, 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 that they never take that leap of faith and just go for it, you
Well,
know.
most people don't actually get out to see the United States either.
Yeah.
One time I hitchhiked from I had a bus ticket one way to LA for a party. A party. So me and a buddy got on the Greyhound, went to LA for a party. And I don't know what we were thinking. I guess we were thinking we would run into somebody we knew and they would give us a ride back to San Francisco. It didn't work out that way. And I had to hitchhike from LA back to San Francisco. And mind you, I was a teenager. Yeah.
Well, for me, it was shit, man. By the time I was 15, I had already been to spring break in Lauderdale, you know, just going with some friends. Well, anyway, the story's of no consequence. But we made it there, you know, and had fun for a week and came back, even though we were just high schoolers. Well, actually, just before high school. But yeah, I mean, look, some people just have that wandering spirit, some don't, you know. And I know for me, California, I saw the writing on the wall, and I was already a guy able without roots yet, right? So I was able to just leave and not worry about it. You know, I understand. I have a lot of friends back there still who have deep roots that can't pull up and go. They just can't at this point. They either have children, grandchildren, parents, right? Brothers, sisters, cousins. You know,
Yeah,
they
that
just
is
they
hard.
can't do it. You know, and then a lot of people, you know, most people in don't move outside of a 50-mile radius of where they were born, you know, and if they do, it's generally to a city within 100 miles of that space. You know, when you go looking at the census records, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And that's the norm.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see the benefit of that because every once in a while I wish all my family was in one area, but at the same time, I like that being that I've lived in plenty of different places. It's kind of cool the different kind of people you meet and stuff.
And it is, to me, I mean, I'll tell you, for me, that's why I love our country as a whole, and why, because each state is different. Each state is its own different, unique part of the whole of America, right? And I've been across it, and I've lived in different parts of it, and each one's got its own specialness to it, right? And that's why I don't want to see us broken up. And I wish we could live under one law for the bigger things, and then each state having its own separate versions of those laws in a way, for their own purposes. To me, the Second Amendment should cross the board just like the First Amendment does, right? It shouldn't be a question.
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be a state question. It's a federal question. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Oh, yeah. I've been a big proponent of that for a long time. Every state should follow the Constitution when it comes to local laws and local ordinances, as long as they don't conflict the Constitution. By all
Yeah.
means, go for it.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much the stance. When you ratified it, that meant you were going to follow it. That means, and when you joined the union, you had to accept it. So guess what? That's the base law. You work off of that from there.
No, not anymore. Not for a while. I mean, ever since before the 1800s, even there was states and counties that prohibited firearms, and I mean, the Second Amendment's been under attack almost immediately since it was put in.
Well, yeah, and some didn't even want to put in, right?
Yeah.
Because they understood that, by giving the masses the ability to do that, you're giving them power. And in giving them power, you're then taking a little from yourself, right? So you're not taking unto yourself like a king would the power to own. Look at Europe. I mean, look at England especially, right? So the king basically owns all the property of the fucking, or the queen, right? Owns all the fucking property, and the government only rules by her allowance, right? Which is something most people don't realize, and they're all subjects to her. So we don't have that here, and that's where there was a fight even then on the Second Amendment, right? But freedom won from people who were, not yet, let's say, enlightened enough, right? Or they were, and they understood that the rest of the country wasn't, because while Jefferson was a slave owner, he wasn't like, he understood that what he was doing might be morally wrong. So did Washington, right? So it didn't stop them from doing it, because it was the economic realities of the day and the socially accepted realities of the day. But it didn't stop them from understanding that what they may be doing might be morally wrong and changed later on.
Yeah, they definitely put it in the Constitution, set up for the end of slavery.
Yeah, I mean, when you start reading all what the founding fathers, and the deeper you read, the more interesting it gets. And some of the most interesting founding fathers you don't even know shit about, might not even remember their names. And that's why I just get, it saddens me. I love this country because I've seen it all 48 states. I never made it to Hawaii or Alaska, but
oh yeah,
I put boots on all 48.
I haven't done that yet. I've done more than half. But yeah, I would love to see it stay together too. I just don't see it watching the news.
The country is barely recognizable at this point to me.
Yeah. Well, yeah, from the one that we grew up in, 30, 40 years ago, yeah, it's a totally different. Well, the government is just as corrupt as it was, right? It's just exposed now more. And this is where the internet has helped, right? So the things that I knew were going on, but never could follow the fact to, just knew was going on through a few little things, right? Or suspected was going on. Right now they flaunt the things that they do, or it somehow becomes exposed in one form or another, right? It ends up getting put out there onto the internet for all to know.
And the more we don't stand up and, do something about it, the more emboldened they get to do more of it.
Yeah, well, we've done what we could do so far as politically right now. We've done what we could do, right? We voted just a year ago. It's only been a year, right? All this fucked up shit's happened in the last year, right? Since we got rid of Obama, right? And we voted in Trump. Remember what it was like just this time last year, constantly getting fed down, 100% down your throat, that 99% of the voters all agree that it's Hillary.
Yep.
Remember what that shit was like?
I still go back and watch the predictions and people laughing, and then, of course, the reaction of when he won. Just,
well, the thing is, they've never changed, right? Nothing's changed for them. They've been fighting against this president since before he was seated. They didn't want him seated. He took the oath, and they've been fighting.
They came out against the electoral voters. Remember that whole thing from the Hollywood? Oh, yeah. Be a patriot and don't elect anybody but Trump. Yeah.
And the funny thing is in doing so, right, being so hardcore against the deep state, being so hard against Donald Trump, the people's choice, basically, right, that they've exposed themselves for the first time truly to the whole world.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this shit, the whole fucking bullshit with the Trump-Russia connection and the whole fucking thing all turns out to be Oppo research by the Clintons, and they actually colluded with the Russian government to get the fucking opposition research. and you're going to take what the fucking Russian said is gospel. When it's done for you, but the fact that they couldn't even actually get Russian fucking opposition on the Trump side, they kept not doing it, right? You're going to try and charge them with collusion because they might have tried to and you actually did it? What the fuck?
Yeah, now they're trying to get this Papadopoulos or whatever to turn over shit. Which I think he was a plant.
It's going to come out. It's going to come out in the end that it's all Clinton. It's all collusion on the other side, and it keeps coming out that on a daily fucking basis that
and here's
they're
my
being
thing,
exposed. Right? The deep state's being exposed.
I watch shows like Hannity, right? And I see Hannity is talking about how he can't handle this, and the country is a two-tier, law. There's law for us and law for them.
First of all, don't want Hannity.
Well, I'm just thinking.
Or don't watch him and take him as fact.
Right. But I'm just, to somebody like that, though, I'm like, well, what the fuck are you going to do about it? You're talking about how we got to do something about it. What are we going to do? What's going to happen when the Clintons get away with every fucking thing like they always fucking do? What are you going to do about it? You're going to sit and bitch that we still have a two-tier law, system?
But you got to understand, his bitching makes him money, right? Mm-hmm. His bitching makes him money.
It's just one of the people that I'm talking about. I mean, a lot of these people just a bunch of talk.
Well, and because that's what puts dollars in their pocket, right? If they were actually going to push for action, first of all, then you start getting into where you are breaking laws when you start, calling up an army, right? Which is why Yeager got so fucking scared that time, right? Because what he had said was damn close to that edge line of the law of calling up a fucking army, right? So you got to be real careful with that. Free speech is okay until you incite actual violence, right? And that's where you got to be careful. Talk is good, and it is cheap. It's way cheaper than blood for fucking sure. But when you start calling for actual violence to be done against other people, that's when you get into that. That's not free speech.
Well, it's not even that. I mean, if we were able to get a whole bunch of people, like-minded people together that wanted to take this country back, just wanted to take it back, but not necessarily we're getting together for that fact, but we just got together like 10,000 of us. Oh, that shit would be shut down pretty damn quick. Without doing anything.
But here's the funny thing is the American people are doing it. They're doing it in a way that's scaring the elites. They're doing it by using the system. They're doing it through the voting, right? We have another election coming up. And look at how many Republicans, hardcore fucking elitist, entrenched fucking Republicans are bailing. Your guy Flake, he knew he was coming up against a hard fucking primary push, and all his shit anti-rhino crap was going to be fucking exposed, right, to his base voters. And he knew
Flake?
He was going to lose.
Flake?
Yeah, Flake.
Yeah.
And you're seeing that, but you're seeing that in all the other states too, dude, where all these fucking rhinos are starting to be hit by fucking, true liberty-minded, conservative, libertarian Republicans, right? Actual. It was funny about
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You were going to say?
It was funny. It was like a month ago on Facebook. I get like all the, local Arizona stuff, and Jeff Flake, an ad for Flake's thing to one of his campaign ads came up saying that he was tough on immigration, tough on illegal immigration, and we got to do something about illegal immigration. Dude, you motherfucking lying asshole. You've been going against that the whole time. So you go up in the Congress, vote against, any kind of border protection, and then come back and say that you're really good for Arizona on border protection. And sure enough, everybody, I'd say 95% of the comments, and there was a lot of them, were like, you're a friggin' liar. You're a two-time and snake, kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Is that, look, both sides see this coming, right? So the Democrats are in the same fucking place, right? So they're being exposed as corrupt, and everybody knows the fucking rhinos are corrupt, right? And they're all getting exposed, and they're all getting fought against. And you see it in a lot of states where these rhino Republicans are getting challenged, And so they're talking about retiring. Fucking look at how many are going to retire now and not seeking re-election, even though they know the seat's going to go Republican. It's just not their kind of anti-Trump Republican, right? We want shit done. We want the government to do what job it's fucking supposed to do. We think it's overreached its job in a lot of ways, but we want it to function.
It's funny. Some of the Democrats are actually pushing for another conservative anti-Trumper to run against Kelly Ward now, because now it's just going to be Kelly Ward, but they want somebody else in the primary that's a never Trumper. So they're pushing to help somebody else's campaign right now in order to go up against her.
Oh, of course they will. And you'll see that going across the board. You'll see that everywhere, that that's where the fight becomes local, right? To help out, to help get our change nationally, you have to change shit locally, right? And that's where the bigger fights really are, especially in the midterm elections, right? So if we got Trump in. So we've shown that silent majority that Reagan used to talk about, right? Which he was right about, right? The most of the American people just want to go to fucking work, feed their kids, maybe relax when they have the time, and they don't want it to cost, they don't want to have to work 90 hours a week to be able to afford to relax 10 hours a week. Mm-hmm. They will if they have to, but they don't want to, right? So they want our economy to grow, our wages to grow, and our economy seems to be growing. Now let's see what happens with wages. Right? If we can get shit back on track, then, we won't see this crap. But we got November 4th coming up. So hey, Phoenix is on the list.
Is it?
I don't know if I saw Reno.
I won't be there.
Yeah. Reno's on the list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The closest thing to me is Oak Lawn, I think, up in suburb of Chicago, which is good luck with that.
So they're going to be dressed up as Trump supporters, right?
Yeah, I saw something like that.
And then they're going to cause chaos. Is that what the plan is?
Well, that's what they. Who knows what their fucking plans are? I mean, who knows if we're not all getting fucking. If not, everybody isn't getting trolled with this. Because what else is going on November 4th, right? Antifa has been saying for months that they're going to put it out there. Now, whether they say now they're going to dress up like Trump supporters. Well, you've already left the fucking media trail, so that's not going to work, right? So,
and if you get arrested, obviously we can find out where your true, political views lie.
Well, I happened to share something from Mike Cernovich got fucking protested by Antifa and NAMBLA. Seriously. I posted the picture of it on Facebook. That's true. It actually happened.
Oh, where the Antifa had that sign with no hate on pedos or something like that?
Yeah. No pedo.
I saw that. No pedo.
Yeah, that really happened. There was multiple photographs of that particular sign. It wasn't just one picture of it, So
yeah, Alex Jones had his whole thing on that too.
Did he?
Yeah.
I've actually.
I gotta find some other news though, because I mean it's sad when Alex Jones is making more sense than anybody else, because 99% of the stuff I'm okay with, but then he goes on these tirades like, "Oh, they're Satan and they want to eat your soul," and they're like, the devil. And I'm like, dude, calm it down, man. You're making a fool of yourself. I just can't.
But that's what allows him to stay in his niche, right? Because he doesn't really want to he doesn't want to get too big because then he'll get too chopped up, right? So if he keeps that 10% crazy, where everybody can throw him to the tinfoil hat side. I mean, it's like the National Enquirer, right? So he's the modern version of the National Enquirer. They can actually tell the truth once in a while, and it come out that it's the truth. And everybody will hold their nose and say, yes, we got it from the National Enquirer, but it was true.
I would say
and it's the same with Alex Jones.
Yeah.
Not by much, man. You name any mainstream sources that'll ever quote Alex Jones other than to ridicule him, even though he comes up with good info. Hey, you agree with T?
I'm actually
So, Reb, when are you going to do more videos, bro?
Oh man, it's been busy.
It's not that hard to pick up a camera and say, "Hey, everybody, I'm still alive. The government still sucks."
Yeah, I'm too lazy for a camera. I just use my phone. When I got something to say, I'll flip it on, and they're
And
canceling
do
gun
two
shows.
vlogs in what 3 days, and then not do another video for 2 years.
Yeah, he did his
Yeah.
two for the year.
Yeah. Well, I felt bad because I'm totally over it, and I looked at my subscribers and I'm like, what the f? I gotta make a video just to
I just hit over 10,000. I haven't done shit in a long friggin' time.
Dang.
Yeah, people keep subscribing. They find the old videos, because it does come through sometimes. I have people subscribe to Mule Team, and I just make those fucking weekly videos for lead into the Liberty, just because it's a habit now,
Yeah, that's the only reason why I remembered Blog Talk Radio was on tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, and shit, it's the only reason why I remember halftime.
I don't know. I'm going to have to switch it up because I looked at my analytics because I haven't gotten a paycheck from Google in a while. And apparently I'm at $60-something, but I'm only making like 2 cents per click. Not 2 cents per view. 2 cents per click of when they click on an ad, which is very freaking rare. And at that rate, I'm never getting paid from Google again. So I don't know. I'm done. I want to be making a lot more videos though when I'm a little bit more settled up in Asheville.
Well, okay, so now talking about that, because I wanted to talk about it a little bit on Blog Talk Radio, and John and I were talking before the show, but have you checked out VidMe?
No, I haven't yet, but I did talk to you about it before, and I'm aware of it.
Yeah. Now, VidMe, it turns out John did it, and he said the way it works for you to start getting paid on VidMe is you have to get 50 subscribers to be able to be verified. And then from there on, you're included in their pay whatever. You know what I mean? Depending upon, I guess, views. However it fucking works. I have no clue. Right?
Right.
So
yeah, I have to look into it more, but I'm feeling that what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing more videos, and they're going to go up on YouTube for a while. And I'm just going to say this video is also available on VidMe, and eventually I'll probably have a time that I'll tell people at this date it's only going to be on that, and hopefully maybe if I get good at doing stuff like building a chicken coop or whatever, I'll do a tutorial on that and put it on Patreon, and people want to see that, it's $2 or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't even monetize my shit. I ain't trying to make no money off of this. That's not why I did this. That's not why I would make.
No, and you don't. I mean, I never thought I was going to get rich either, right? But a couple $100 every once in a while, hey, it's not so bad.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And money works, right? I got a check from Google once. It was awesome, But the thing is, for me, I just want to, like Reb said, look, I don't do this for fucking money. I mean, if I wanted, I could have turned this into one of those super chats tonight, right? The Dragon's been around enough, and we put out enough content to where all I have to do is say yes, turn it on, and I'm good.
Exactly.
And I could start getting to where people, donate money so that their chat would come up and we'd talk about whatever their chat is, and it would hang out in front of everybody. And that's a good way to help support people who are doing live chats a lot, right? And I almost turned it on because if this was, 5 years ago, oh, fuck yeah, I would have done it 100%. when we were doing 3 to 4 fucking live chats a week, 4 hours or longer, for sure, I would have turned that super chat shit on and hoped that, through $1 or $2 here and there, people would have made it worth the while to keep it going. The opportunity wasn't there. But now I just don't give a fuck, right? I don't even want to turn it on because if somebody did donate fucking money, then I'd have to play the fucking, dancing seal at this point. I'd start getting greedy about. I'd be like, oh, that sounded good. If I said that more, maybe they'd donate $20 instead of fucking $5. Whatever, man. I don't want none of that shit.
No.
I didn't compromise then. I'm not compromising now. But I also don't fucking shout at the rooftops as much now as I did then because my voice hurts. Nobody's listening. And the people that we want to reach are thinking communism is a good thing. You know?
Yeah, all these people that are pawns for that. It's crazy.
Well, it's funny. The only people that I really needed to reach are the ones directly around me, and I have. You know, they're not fucking your media type millennial, right? These are the kids that I know are hardworking kids who are thinking about the same things everybody eventually thinks about, right? I want a cool car. I want a cool girl, boy, whatever, right? Eventually, I might want to start a family after I get my shit together and have a decent place to live and a couple of toys, you know. And I just want to be happy and not have to work too hard, you know. And that's that. The millennials I know are like that. I don't know very many fucking, you know, Antifa types, and they're just people are too busy out here trying to feed themselves to be Antifa, right? Not very many kids can afford to live in their parents' basement without having to kick in.
Yeah, there's no rural place where it's all, you know, Antifa kind of minded people. Those are only in the big cities.
Yeah, would you go grab my tea?
Yeah,
I know.
As you were saying before, people out in the suburbs and stuff, they have to actually work for their living. They take it for a little bit more. They don't take it for granted, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You know, they don't when you have to work hard. But the problem and the reason why I see sometimes you do see working people with those Antifas in cities is because it's so expensive to live in those giant cities that you really can't work a fucking minimum wage job and afford to live the place that you're working and all that shit. And that gets frustrating. I understand that, right? But I don't live in those fucking places anymore. Out here, right, where a minimum wage job is not going to advance you, but it's survivable.
Well, yeah, I mean, back in the day when minimum wage was $4.25, even then, I knew it wasn't something you're going to live on. That is something while you're living with your parents so you can save up some money so you can get a place of your own once you finally do get a better job.
Yes, and I mean, that's what's going on. My son, he's going to fucking school, right? And he's going to school for welding. He's got to get his welding certificate because he wants to take regular welding and then underwater welding because he knows that guess what? Welders make
a ton of money,
$5,000 to $150,000 a year.
Yeah,
you know, and that's with a certificate. You've done a year of trade school, and out you go, right? And you can make some money.
A lot better than a college degree that won't do you shit half the time.
Well, that's why they want free college, right? They're not asking for free trade school.
Something that actually they want to have a college major that's some sort of stupid psychology of the white field mouse.
No, man. They want to do the white patriarchy and science studies out of Stanford, right? Which is a real study, by the way, which is what I brought up earlier, right? So, you know, it's fucking crazy the times we live in. Every time you go, wow, we live in interesting times, it gets fucking worse. More and more interesting.
Not interesting good.
No. It's making me say, hey, you know, what the fuck? Yeah. But it's only because we pay attention to the media, right? It's only because when I turn off the fucking news for a week or so and I don't know what the fuck's going on, and I just see what's going on in my area, nothing's changed. People are people. It's all, you know, people go to church on Sunday and Wednesday, right? They fucking barbecue when it's warm out. You know, it's starting to get cold. Basketball's coming up. Football's finishing, you know, for the high school. You know, nothing's changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just because if we pay attention, like Reb's got it kicked. He don't barely pay attention to shit no more. That's why he doesn't do nothing. Because he's got nothing to say because he's too busy working every day, doing his business, taking care of his kids, right? Doing stuff for the family, hoping to get some, fresh pig out of HD and, all that kind of shit.
But
Oh, that's right.
that's
these
the
videos.
that's the thing, though, man. It's like, we're all getting older. We have no guarantee for tomorrow, right? Um, I don't care how wealthy you are or how healthy or happy. When your number's punched, it's punched, and it could be, tomorrow, could be, tonight. You know what I mean? So
And
you
out of
have
all
to.
those things, I'd rather be happy, and that's the choice I've made, right? So I'm not rich, I'm not super healthy, but I'm for the grump that I am, I'm pretty fucking happy.
You still got 9 toes left.
Yeah.
Yeah. Life is too short, man, to sweat the small shit and the big. I mean, most of this stuff is out of our fucking control. I mean, until they come knocking at your door, just be ready and enjoy yourself. But know that we live in crazy ass times, so you better be ready.
Oh yeah. And it's fun because I remember we used to do this just because we looked at fucking. Always looked at politics as my sport, right? It was like the NFL to me.
Yeah.
It was just fun to watch because I knew I couldn't really affect anything.
Right.
And it's now not fun to watch, and I still can't affect anything.
Right.
That's a good video, Rev, right there. Good video idea.
What?
What you were just talking about, how I don't know, I already forgot.
What are you vaping?
Nothing that good.
Let me catch up.
No.
Right? Yeah. Did you bring my tea up?
Damn it! I even filled it up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting out of the city, though. In a way, there's parts of it I'll miss, but I think for the most part, I'm ready. Let's
well, I'd make sure you take some really good seeds with you up there, right? Because it's like perfect,
right?
I mean, it actually looks like you can grow some nice poppies around there, too. I mean, you can really get into it.
I don't know if I'd be into that. I do like poppy seed bagels, but that's about it. I'm not
well,
into
the thing
anything
is,
heavier than that.
for off-grid purposes, I would definitely, at least raise the flowers, right, quote unquote, because look, if you really want to get off-grid, I'd plant a willow tree for aspirin. I'd have hemp growing. I'd have poppies growing, all for medicinal purposes, baby.
Yeah. I'm legal to do it if I got the right paperwork too, but I ain't doing that.
Oh, you need paperwork to grow in for medical purposes, and
yeah, I think so. I don't know. I'm pretty sure you do. Yeah, but I ain't worried about that because even if that's true, I want to do it. Shit, I mean, I can grow hydroponic.
Yeah, well, you proved that with the fucking cabbage, right? So
yeah,
you're able to make the slaw.
It's all about the same stuff.
Hey, Reb, I have a question for you, buddy.
What's that?
Well, I remember you've gone through some dietary issues here over the past year or so. Is it true that I've heard you might not be able to eat bacon anymore?
Oh no, I can eat whatever I want. I've been a vegetarian now for so long that I just choose to only eat meat that I know how it was processed.
Oh, so you're not oh, wait a minute. So you said a vegetarian.
He's just more of a picky meat eater now.
Right.
It's I know that eating meat for my system is a little more how you say for some reason. So I only eat meat when I know where it's coming from. I eat meat on our vacation. Buddy of mine gave me some of his hunt, and I ate that with no real issues. But it's just like anything else. Once you've been away from something for so long, like if you go without salt or sugar or fucking carbs or whatever it is, and you completely take it out of your diet, after 3 months, you don't really crave it anymore. It's really
Yeah.
not part of your system.
That's
3
true.
months.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I'm sure your body craves some of the meat fats, but I had the ease
No.
of breaking up those proteins rather than the vegetable proteins. But I remember you were having some real issues there, so I understand. But have you ever thought about going in like? Because I know around here, maybe you can't do it there, but around here I can buy. Me and a friend of mine, we can go in on half a cow.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, you can
And
do that up here as well.
yeah.
I just don't crave it, man. I don't seek it out. I don't crave it. I don't think about it. But when somebody's like, "Hey, man, I got too much deer meat from my freezer. You want some?" Yeah, you know.
Well, what do you do when the neighbor's burning a steak back there? Does it drive you nuts?
That's funny you should say that because I did smell a barbecue not too long ago, and I was like, "Damn, that smells good." But again, it's just a lifestyle choice. If I had land and I could do my own animals, would it be part of the regiment? Sure.
Well, that's what I'm saying because you actually have a friend of yours close by who's working his way towards that.
I have a couple.
Are you going to be eating some
I have a
stoves?
couple. I have a couple, and I do take meat, and I do eat meat when when I know where it's coming from. But it's not a big deal, It's not like it's just not really an issue. It's not an animal rights thing. It's not anything. It's just a preference.
Well, it was a physical thing. You went through some fucked up shit there for a minute,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
And let's not forget, this is still kind of strange for me, at least, because before all this shit went down, you were like the meatiest meat eater I've ever met.
Oh yeah. I would make and eat ungodly amounts of beef jerky, and if the one thing that I do miss, the only meat product that I really miss, because you got to remember, once Fukushima happened, I was a big fish eater, but once that happened, I never touched a lick of fish again ever. So I had a bunch of tuna in reserve, and of course we ate that before it expired. But seafood was actually much more of my thing than cow and all that. I've always liked wild game, you name it, But like I said, it's not really an issue. And as far as the fats, I believe that you do need fats. You do need certain things, and there's a supplement for everything. People say, the funny thing is the question I get asked the most is protein, and it's funny because I have a high amount of protein in my
it's called beans.
In my tests I have a high amount of protein, so I'm not lacking protein whatsoever.
No, I know. I mean, people that are vegetarians, being a Seventh-day Adventist, one of our main towns that we have is in California, Loma Linda. And Loma Linda is mostly Seventh-day Adventist. And Loma Linda's Seventh-day Adventist population are mostly vegetarians. And they live in mostly to their 90s. One of the highest living age locations in the United States is Loma Linda because of that. And so it's very health beneficial to be vegetarian. I don't like being one, and I'm still shocked that you are one because of the fact that you were such a meat eater before. But it is better for your health, or obviously, yeah.
Yeah, the one thing I miss that, funny enough, is beef jerky.
Well, and part of it was the fact that you've dealt so long, and that's what I thought at the time too, was the fact that you dealt with so much processed meat, right? That was probably the biggest issue, was all just the chemicals that you've been absorbing for 50 years or 40 something years of life, right?
Absolutely. So, yeah.
That's where the issue comes in.
I would venture to say, before I had medical issues, meat was friggin' 75% of my diet.
It still is for me. I've just eliminated all the. Well, no, I've eliminated all the carbs, right? So I got rid of carbs. That's what I worked on for the and running a paleo diet, but that doesn't stop me from eating certain grains and lots of beans and other things that are healthy. The only things that worry me are where my produce is coming from, right?
Yeah.
Because I have a good venue to meet, right? So, fresh, good, clean, locally grown meat. But it's the produce that worries me because, you can't control where that produce has come from. And they could tell you something's one thing and you don't know. If you ain't
Yeah, it's one of the first things I'm going to be doing is setting up a garden because of that.
Yeah, if you're growing, and that's where I'm jealous of you, is you're going to be able to grow however much, once you figure out what it's going to take to feed the family for a year, what you prefer for the year, you're going to be able to grow it with the amount of property you have. Out here, where I live, it wouldn't take but 2 acres and you could feed a fucking army, but it's still available to y'all. And that's where, I'm really jealous of you staying with the homestead and HDP, but who the hell knows?
He's got a nice little setup.
Yeah, right
he's got
now
a nice little setup. I've been watching his videos a lot.
Yeah, he's traveling this week though. Where in the hell is HDP?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to be taking it slow. This is a big shock for me. I lived on a 4-acre little plantation when I was a kid, but it's been forever ago. I've had goats before, I've had chickens before, but all this stuff before I was really a teenager, even about up to 13 years old. So I have the basic premise, but it's been forever. I've been apartment living my whole adult life, and now I'm gonna, be the one responsible to fix shit when it breaks down, and I don't get to trust in the landlord to come and do it. So,
well, you just need to put that Green Acres theme on your phone,
Right.
Green Acres,
I'm telling you, man,
the place to be.
I want to be taking it slow though. I'm going to start off with chickens, and I'm going to move my way up from that, I think.
Yeah.
See how much I can handle.
If I would go the same route, I'd probably go chickens, ducks, goats, or chickens, rabbits, goats, like HD did. Because I'd want meat that I grew.
Well, like you said, we up there that's on a lot of cattle ranches. There's a lot of cattle ranches near us, and their cows actually wander on our property. But I'm sure that there's a way for us to, go in on a half a cow or whatever like that. And I don't really care for goat meat. I've had goat meat. We owned goats, and I didn't really care for goats. As far as other food, we're not going to be eating rabbit or duck because it's not kosher, and we try to only eat kosher meat. But
fair enough.
Mostly chickens, and maybe, there's a lot of hunting for deer out there too. So we're hoping to supplement our meat as much as possible doing that.
And you can, man. You'd be amazed how much, depending upon how many tags you get and what it's like hunting out there. Like here, you can easily get 4 tags, and that'll fill your freezer, right? 1 buck, 3 does, you're done. You can eat fucking venison all year.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not doing the freezer thing only because freezers are hard on solar. But we're gonna can it. We're gonna can our meat.
Right.
Which I've been learning a lot about, and it's really exciting I'm really excited to do it because, it'll last up to 5 years canned easily. No refrigeration required. And it's pressure cooked, right? So it falls off the bone. You don't have to do anything but stuff the meat in the can and put it in the pressure canner. So I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Sweet. I know that stuff that Midwest Prepper gave us, that Tom gave us, was awesome.
Yeah. It looks like shit, but it tastes really good.
Oh, yeah, it did. Well, I cooked it with other stuff and made it into, something else. So I just used it as the protein for something, for a recipe, and it turned out awesome.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, man. I'm lucky in the fact that I haven't had the issues that Rebels had, because I'll tell you what, I love my meat. That sounded really fucked up and wrong. But,
yeah.
I love dead animal flesh cooked to medium rare or half bloody.
I don't know if I could do that, go without meat, but I am trying new things already. I'm losing a little bit of weight because we've been a lot more active. I've given up soda again. Let's see how long this lasts. I guess 3 months is the test on that one.
Good.
And then moving out there and having so much more to do on, your own land, and you got a lot of projects. I'm looking forward to, getting in shape. And the better I'm feeling, obviously, the more I can do, and the more I can do, the more I can take on. So.
Right. And the fun part about that is it's never ending when you own the property, right? When you own it, it's never ending.
Yeah.
There's always something to do. And you're going to be far enough away where there's not an AM PM down the road that you can go run and get a big gulp or some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Getting the sodas is going to have to be like, you got to really go out and do it. Yeah.
Well, it makes things, but that makes it more valuable, right? So somebody who drinks, 10 gallons of soda a day, it's not valuable like it is to the person who's had one glass in a month,
Mm-hmm. That is true. And every time that we've gone without soda for a while, and then you get one, it always tastes so much better than it does if you're drinking it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. I was talking to a few people about how giving up weed for a while. Why do I do that every once in a while? It's give up weed for like a couple weeks or a month, right? And it's not just to save money. It's also because then it works a little more effectively when I'm back to it, because you can build up a tolerance or a taste for anything. I mean, I love bacon, but if I stopped eating bacon for 3 months, I'd probably love bacon a hell of a lot more after I was done, after that 3 months was over.
I don't know. Maybe you wouldn't miss it at all after 3 months.
I don't know. Now it's making me want to head out that way just to take Rev to go eat a good steak.
Right? No doubt.
You'd have to kill it.
Oh, that wouldn't be a problem.
Have to know somebody.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be a problem.
I'd really just
put it on video, right? Watch the steak get cut and watch we're going to go in halves on that one. Yeah. Well, why kill him? We're going to film. I want to film the whole butchering process. My buddy doesn't believe I'll bring him a steak.
My great-grandparents used to process their own food.
Yeah, I think most of our great-grandparents did.
So here we are, a couple of generations removed, and if the stores aren't open, we starve. I mean, that's just not the way it's supposed to be, man.
Well, but that's because we invented, somebody down the line invented refrigeration, right? So if they hadn't invented refrigeration, this would be a moot point.
So, let's say your son has girlfriend problems. What would you tell him?
What kind of girlfriend problems, first of all?
No. Just a generalization.
Well, because it could be he doesn't have a girlfriend, and that's the problem.
No. I don't mean that.
That's much different advice from, your old lady's, looking at other dudes, or just she's being a woman and you're just going to have to accept that women are fucking nuts and that you're always, and look, there's a certain regimen to a happy life with women who, if you're sexually attracted to them, and you're always wrong, and get over it, right? Until you're with your buddies, because the sexes are different.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd walk around, because I still don't get women. Fuck, I'm 50-something years old. I love women. I fucking still don't understand them. They still do the craziest shit. Why they do it, they don't even fucking know.
No, they don't.
And sometimes it's just because you said black, they have to say white because you, a man, said black.
There's been plenty of times we'd get in a fight, me and my old lady, and she'd come back later and says, "Yeah, I really agreed with you, but I didn't want to agree with you because I wanted to be right." So,
yeah,
like I knew it.
And you're lucky that Heidi does that, right? So many women will never, ever, ever do that, and don't expect it. I would never tell my son to expect, or my grandsons when I tell them to expect a woman to do that. No. Have you ever seen that in your life? No. So don't expect it.
Yeah.
So So this will go to both of you. So what's the best piece of advice you can give about women?
Be flexible because they're unpredictable.
Here's my greatest advice I can give to a dude about women. Okay, your silence is golden.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against
Yeah, I mean,
That-
other than reading a Miranda right, and saying the court of law is the law of your girlfriend's mind, right?
you.
So, just if you think you're going to say something that's going to, that is going to start a fight, don't say it, right?
If you're wrong, you're going to be really wrong. If you're right, you're still wrong.
No, if you're right, you're going to be even more wrong.
Right?
Because they're happy with you. Want to make your girlfriend happy? Make sure that she's right all the time and can prove it. Right? That will make her happy. But then she'll be leaving you because she won't like that she's right all the time, and she wants somebody to be a real man.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I say your silence is golden. Don't say shit. Tell her you look great in this fucking, and lie through your teeth. Your ass looks great in those pants. And if you're lucky, it does. You're not lying. You're telling the fucking truth for about 20 years. And then at that 25th year, it might not look as good. Lie and tell her that, that she still looks great in those pants. And now Rebel bailed, right? He's going to go run off and tell her. He wrote all this shit down, and now he's running off to tell his kid, The fellas said your girlfriend's crazy, just like I did. They tell you, happy wife, happy life, just like I did. And that here's one I didn't know, but sounds good. Your silence is golden. Don't say shit. Just nod your head.
Reb's got some experience with that, too. I mean, how many times have we heard that, his wife's calling, he's got to go. He's very well trained.
Hey, he's happily married for 20-something years, too, right? So,
So he says.
I mean, look, I'm married for 25 years. So, but I'm also a total asshole, and everybody hates me, so we're good. So the wife understands that I will always put my foot in my mouth given the chance.
Yeah, at least it's not as big as it used to be.
Yeah, it's only 4 now instead of 5.
Yep.
But, yeah, so, people already know that about me, and I've always been this way, so it's not like a shocker to anybody that, maybe my advice isn't the best one to go on. It might turn out to be right in the end, but believe me. Anyway, how long have we been doing this thing? Oh, an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Tell you what, still fun.
Yeah.
I was here.
Definitely.
I was here a little. I didn't think there was going to be no mind blower this time. It's been a couple of weeks. We've done this a couple of times now. It's good seeing the fellas,
Yep.
And nothing really, look, that fucking New York thing, there was no way anybody could have stopped it any more than they could have stopped the fucking, Vegas thing. Right? Yeah. And it just continues to show the hypocrisy of especially the mainstream media, right? So the second that the fucking Las Vegas thing comes out, right? They're talking, we got to ban guns right away, right? Well, the second they find out that this guy's a Muslim who yelled Allah Akbar, has ties to fucking ISIS, right? And is a diversity visa lottery winner, right? And Trump wants to end that program and anything like it. They start going, you can't blame all Muslims. It's fucking, the hypocrisy is glaring. And the fact that you have people like Tapper coming out and saying, oh, Barr is such beautiful words. It's a shame that he said them. Some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing people. Don't quote. I'm not quoting. But he did say, and it's like, what are you, fucking ridiculous? So, the one that happened in London a couple hours later or some shit, right? Because something happened over in Europe. Same thing, basically. Happened in Europe again. It's like, but we're supposed to not be suspicious of Muslims while they keep doing this shit. But every white dude every gun owner in America is immediately suspicious and needs to give up their rights and their property.
I don't even see why they do this either, because the liberals out there who love homosexuality, abortion, all these things that Islamic people hate, especially those who would commit terror, right? They hate that stuff, but they're kowtowing to them and wanting them to do whatever and saying you can't be, bad against all Muslims. I'm like, don't you see the logic in this? Where if you had it your way, you'd be next.
Well, it's the same way with the fucking Antifa commies, right? They don't understand that they get the bullet too.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the funny thing is those crazy
tell time.
What?
This show and tell time?
Yeah, you got something to show?
You do, apparently.
You gonna show off your new CZ?
God, I love that gun, dude. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet, man. It's
done a
fucking
video on
CZ. Best guns ever made. Glock thought they had it. Nope, CZ.
I don't have a CZ. I do have a couple. Well, I have a Glock. I don't know. You're going to have to do a video
So show
on it.
and tell. Show us the new CZ.
Oh no, I'm good. I'm not really into guns.
Yeah,
CZ. I thought you were talking about easy listening.
Yeah. What are you talking about? CZ? What's that, a gun?
Easy Widers.
CC Rider?
Is that a sequel?
Yeah, I'm just not into guns at all. I don't like them. I think
they're dangerous
and scary.
Be more into pellet guns, or what do you call it? The airsoft.
Got with camera I was looking at. Right, my phone is the one that has the better sound than camera. But yeah, they're scary, aren't they? Ooh, scary, scary.
Big and black.
Nope, actually, it's brown and tan, and it's got a Rebel Solutions skull on it, but you can't see the RSD anymore. That got kind of worn off because I use this motherfucker.
Look, looks like it's time for a new coat, man.
Man, I am so far behind the airsoft fire, the airsoft fun things. It's not even funny.
Yeah, airsoft, yeah. Anyway, nah, dude, it's looking. Look, you know how many people are paying? I go look on the net sometimes, and I'll see people looking for battle-worn guns. They love that fucking look, right? Yeah, you know how I got the Battlefield pickup look? I used the fucking thing and trained with it.
Those are a bunch of hipsters right there. Ooh, he's showing some.
He is.
That's a lovely airsoft.
Right? That's what I'm talking about.
Nice. I want one of those. Those seem awful cute and small. Portable.
Yeah.
I got a lot of work to do, man.
How many BBs per minute on that airsoft anyway?
Oh, that's fully automatic, dude. We don't mess around.
Yeah, mine's not. Mine's still semi. My bolts.
Mine's always semi.
My bolt's a little heavier.
Yeah. Fucking A, man.
So any news on this whole bump stock ban that they're trying to do? Is it gone anywhere since the last time we talked about it?
No, it actually failed in Illinois. It failed in the Congress. They're trying to rewrite another one and going to try and bring it up again, but it's going to fail again. Because they can't, because they'd have to change the NFA, right? Because in the definition of the NFA is the one trigger pull, right, per round, right? So they'd have to change the NFA, and they'd have to redefine
how fast is too fast.
Yeah, and it's going to take too much for them to actually do it, right? Because if they go to redefine the NFA, they're going to lose SBR. They're going to lose some things off of it. And that's exactly what we want, right? And what we want them to bring up. We want them to get rid of fucking SBRs. I know I do.
No. There ain't no reason to not allow SBRs.
I know, even though my pistol can be misconstrued as one, if somebody desired to misconstrue it as an SBR, they definitely could, but it's my pistol. It's my carry pistol and my. So, which I train a lot with, by the way.
Yeah, I got to get me one of them pistols.
I know Reb got his airsoft because he was bitching about fucking throwing real rounds down range. He'd rather throw plastic. It's cheaper.
Oh,
wow. It's a good...
See, that's why I think...
It's good training, man. It's as close as you're going to get to some munitions if you don't have licensing and shit, or a place that does that.
Yeah,
you take away your man card,
and it is cheaper.
I don't play video games. I actually, get out there and do live video games, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, do they have an
play a lot of
airsoft
video games
CZ yet? CZP-10 yet?
No.
Hey, you know what? Don't be surprised they don't come out with one pretty quick.
You sure you guys don't want to get the new Glock Gen 5?
5.
I need to get a good holster, though.
It looks like the Gen 1.
The Glock Gen 5. It's they retro to Gen 2, right?
Yeah.
I'm still just not into striker fire guns, right? I'm a hammer guy.
Well, even your CZs, don't they have a striker fire? I mean, the hammer hits the pin, right?
No.
No?
The regular CZs are hammer fired guns, right? Well, yeah, most hammer fired guns hit pins. But his CZ, the one he just bought, that's a real striker fired gun.
Wow. Yeah, I can't wait until this chat is off air. Either that or you should do a friggin' YouTube video once in a while.
What color did you get?
Oh, I just got the black, man. First of all, those damn things, when I got it, was hard to find. I just kind of lucked into it. I bought 2, actually. So
oh, nice. Really?
It was just one of those things where, happened to be at the right place at the right time, I guess.
Now, they're about the size, they're a 15 round, right? So they're like 19 size, right?
Correct.
Yeah, see, I'm looking at I've actually been looking at the M&P 2.0 compact, the new one they've got out that's fucking Glock 19 size. But the reason why is because they have a safety. Even CZ doesn't offer a safe manual safety on their striker fire gun, which disappoints me. I wonder if they do in Europe. Because it's funny, there's some countries that require it to where, like Glock, there's some countries that their Glocks have safeties on.
Right.
So I'm wondering if the CZP-10 would be the same thing. But fuck, M&P, and it is America, even though Czechs make beautiful guns, man. So I'm going to turn this off air. We've had fun. It's been an hour and 24 minutes. I'm starting to get bored with talking to the rest of the world, and we're going to stop fucked up shit offline. And yes, if you notice, I did not put the open link in this week.
No?
Why? Because I don't want the trolls again next week when I am going to put the open link in.
What are you talking about?
Only people...
Oh, last week towards the end, Reb, we had quite a bit of troll activity towards the end, jumping in.
No, I'm saying you put the open link in there tonight. That's how I got in here.
I thought I took it back out.
No.
Oh well. Let's get out of here before the fucking trolls show up, and we'll hang out offline.
Right.
We'll talk to you guys next week if I decide to turn it on. So keep an eye out. I'll let you know on Wednesday when I'm making the Liberty and Firearms thing. And have fun this week because it's definitely going to be weirder next week.
Next week, I actually might be in Ashfork when we do this, if we do this.
Ooh, sweet.